So guys, thank you all for tuning tonight on this Pop Fun TV special interview with a very, very special guest right from the US, straight from Los Angeles. She is a woman of beauty, but she's also a beast on her heels. So welcome, Miss Lauren Mary King. It's a great pleasure and a huge honor to have you here. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Wow, well, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. This is my first time being interviewed from Brazil, so thank you. So yeah, my name is Lauren Mary Kim. I'm a professional stunt woman in Hollywood. And you can see some of my work on different projects. I do a lot of motion capture work, film and TV. I doubled Elektra on the Daredevil series. I did some motion capture for Ahsoka for Clone Wars. I doubled Emily Swallow on the Mandalorian. So yeah, it's been a journey being a stunt woman in the industry for sure. Yeah.
That's great because it's awesome. Normally, when we guys, you look as all of the women out there, we think that you are sometimes fragile, sometimes a little shy, but you are not afraid to go to on your profession. So how it is for you to be a stunt woman? How did that start in your life?
It was actually by accident. I moved to Los Angeles to go to college and to actually pursue a dance career. And I actually was a Laker girl. That was my first job in Los Angeles. Yeah. So that was really a cool accomplishment, and it was just so much fun. But I took a gymnastic class, and I met a bunch of stunt guys, and they introduced me to this world that I had no idea about. They started training me in martial arts, how to fall, and then I just dove into it because I was like, this seems really fun and different, and it just felt more like me because I was a tomboy always at heart. So yeah, that's just how I got into it, and I thought it was just going to be temporary. Like, I didn't think I would be doing it for my life career, but here I am 15, 16 years later still doing this. So it's been a challenge, but it's been such an amazing career. I love it so much.
That's cool because every time that we think about stuntmen or stunt women, we think that they have no fear. Is that right with you? You have no fear as well?
I think in my 20s, I definitely had no fear. Like, if someone said to do something, I would do it without hesitation. Or even when I was like a child, like I remember I was like on a tram ride at an amusement park, and I was wearing my friend's hat, and it flew off. And so while the tram was moving, I decided to jump off the moving tram and get the hat for him. Like, no thought, just like, I'm just gonna go get it. That's it. And so I just, if someone dared me to do something, I would do it. Like, I remember being at a nightclub when I was 21, and they're like, do a front flip. So I did a front flip in heels without any care in the world. I think as you get older, you start to have common sense and you just assess situations more carefully. And that's really what stunts is about, is just assessing situations to make it safe for you to do a certain stunt. But yeah, it's a whole process. When you do a stunt, you really have to think about what could go wrong, how to not allow these things to happen, to be safe, and then you kind of just let it go, let the fear go, because that could just really get you in your head. So I think, yeah, it's just a number of like steps that you have to take in your mind, and then just go for it.
Well, I'm going to drop some words, and I think that these words, they fit you very well, very perfectly. Instinct, skills, practice, professionalism, ethics. And which one of these words would you use to define your career as a whole until now?
Man, I mean, I think those are all really, really powerful words that you all described. I mean, I think all of them is what it takes to be in this profession, or with any profession, really. You know, being professional, having good ethics, practice skill, all of those things. I would also add perseverance, because you can never give up. And I think that's what it's been like for me, because, you know, it was really challenging in the beginning of my career, because, you know, when I started, there weren't a lot of Asian actresses to double. So the work was way, you know, way more scarce. So, you know, I just kept on it and just persevered pretty much. And then, you know, it's just, you just never give up. I think that's just really the end like result of things, because people can tell you you're not good enough. And I've had that, you know, I've been told like, you're not good enough, you know, you're too fat, you're too this, but you know what, you can't listen to other people, because, you know, that's just their opinion. And my husband always tells me all the time that, you know, that's their opinion of you, and that's them reflecting their negativity on you, which is not true. It's not your truth. So I think it's really important for everyone to know that, you know, you got to persevere and just keep your head up and be positive, you know, especially times right now. I think this is like such a deep message right now, right?
Yeah, that's cool, because you said very naturally, you sent some pretty strong words, some pretty good message, because that's pure female empowerment. But female empowerment should not be a movement. It should be natural. It should be a natural thing
Yeah.
in our society. And how is this on the backstage of the stunt world? Are you stunt women respected as actresses, as human beings, human beings on work times, then don't push you too hard? So how that work on the backstage?
In like a sense that like, for, you mean women in the industry, or?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Women in the industry.
Um, you know, I think I've seen a real positive change with women in the industry, because, you know, maybe like 10, 15 years ago, we weren't taken as seriously, you know, we weren't in more, you know, bigger roles, like in a sense, like I see more women directors now. I see more women stunt coordinators. And I think that we're starting to get the power that we deserve, that we've always had, but, you know, we just weren't taken seriously. And I think, you know, there's a revolution of women becoming the powerhouses. I mean, look at all the films that we have nowadays. We have Wonder Woman. I mean, she's a strong woman. We have The Old Guard with Charlize Theron. Like, there's all these amazing movies with like strong female leads, and I think it's very important. And this is like the time for women to shine. But, you know, this is not, I mean, sadly, it is a movement now, because it took us this long to get here, but it should be, like you said, a natural thing that women should be empowered, and it should be from now on a natural thing that should just be occurring.
That's very good of your thoughts, and which brings me to the next question, which is a very common, a very natural question in our profession. Normally, stuntmen and stuntwomen, they don't get so much credit as movie stars. Mm-hmm. So how does that work for you or your colleagues? Sometimes you feel not depreciated, but understated on the industry. How is that?
Well, in some aspects, I feel like we are living in the shadows. We are behind these actors. We are the ones that make them look good. And that's part of our job. Our job is to make the actors look good. And, you know, it is, in some ways, I don't mind being in the shadows, being on the sidelines, because that's our job. But I do feel like more people are starting to appreciate the stunt work behind the film and TV, because, you know, audiences they're smart now. They know that the actors aren't doing all these crazy stunts. So, I mean, I think it's fun for us to get some recognition for sure, because people want to know all the behind the scenes footage and like knowledge that happens behind, you know, the magic behind it. And I think that's what's fun about it. And yeah, I think, yeah, I think it's coming more of into the light now, our profession. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty much relevant, because we should appreciate more of your art as a whole, not only yourself, but all of the stuntmen and women, stunt women throughout the world, because all the things that you do, these things make some of the best worlds, some of the best actions that we can get on a movie theater, even on our homes, and that's pretty cool. So I have to ask you this one. This is a very tough question. I like to push my guests against the wall, but please do not kick me. I'm the whole thing here.
I can't read you, so I can't kick you.
No, but we're living in a time of 4D, so I do not want to give any chances. Miss Kim, being a stunt woman is your profession, but you're also an actress and also a director of your own stunts in your YouTube channel. So how is that to be not fully covered, to be your full face, revealing yourself, your moves and styles, but also directing those clips, those scenes? So how is that?
I mean, I love it. The whole reason why I started doing my own YouTube channel is just to have a creative outlet. Because, you know, when you work in stunts, you're just a soldier. You're just being told what to do all the time. You're like, okay, you're doing this, this, and this. But, you know, that's why I started it, because I was like, I want to do my own thing. I want to create my own projects. So that's why I did it. And eventually I want to do my bigger projects, and, you know, because I'm writing a bunch of other you know, short films and movies. And so I hope to do that in the future. That's totally my goal.
That's cool. That's great, because I want to ask you something very nice also. Do you remember what was your first stunt, and how did that ended up on the set?
I think the first, man, it was so long ago. It was a kid show called Ned's Declassified, and they called me to do a bunch of back handsprings, like backflips, down a hallway. And I don't know if you know who Fred Savage is. He was on the one. Yeah. So he was the director, and I grew up watching him. So it was really cool to work with him. And it, you know, it was an unrealistic set, because they're like, okay, you're gonna come to set. You're gonna do the gag. I did it like 2 or 3 times, and then they sent me home. And I was like, oh wow, stunts is pretty easy. But you know, being a stunt person, you're really on set for like 12 hours, 15 hours a day waiting, you know. So, you know, that's not always how it's gonna be. But yeah, that was my first job, I think. And it was, I was nervous, and I was so young, and it was fun. Yeah, I can't believe I'm still doing it now.
We appreciate that you're still doing, and you're still nailing it. Which brings to the next question as well. The world of stunts is full of risks and joys. If you could define one risk, one great risk, and one great joy during your career, which one would be?
One of each, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, in general, doing stunts is a whole risk, right? Because you're doing a career path that, you know, is not normal. You know, my parents always wanted me to do something more practical. So to become a stunt person alone is just a huge risk, because first of all, you could get hurt, you could get killed. And it's just like a not very practical job. There was one particular stunt I did. It was being hit by a car. It's called car hits. Yeah. And so that was risky. I was so nervous. Like, you know, the weeks leading up to the stunt, I kept thinking about it, and it was giving me a little anxiety, because I've never been hit by a car on purpose. I've been hit by cars accidentally on the street. But to do it like and then I had to do it in the rain, which was like a whole nother element. So that was a really scary stunt for me personally. And then after that, I think I got a little PTSD. Anytime I see a car like driving up to me close, I get a little nervous now, just because I've had that experience of actually getting hit by a car. And then Joyce is just working with people of like, you know, different cultures and backgrounds, and like, I mean, just working with an array of different people from around the world. You know, I've gotten to work in India, I got to work in Denmark, Ireland, all around the world. So it's been really awesome and a joy to work with people from different cultures and countries, and like meeting people, and like, you know, you just get to meet so many cool people, and you get to create something that's super fun and entertaining.
And that's cool because you also travel not also as a professional to a foreign country and stuff like that, but you also travel on the different realms and fantasy kingdoms and future times and other planets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Your job can be very envied sometimes to many mortals, just like me, just like many women on the world. But you were also on movies and games, just like Mortal Kombat, Star Wars, Marvel Productions. You have been beside Transformers on Decepticons and Autobots and stuff like that. But how it is for you to be a very good acquaintance, not acquaintance, I mean a friend to the Star Wars realm of fantasy, because you have been in many, many projects. How it is that? What can you tell us about that?
About the Star Wars world?
Yeah, because you have been in so many different projects of the Star Wars world, and I feel so much envy right now. But in a good way. I repeat, I don't want to get my ass kicked during this interview. So how is that, Ms. Kim?
Working in the Star Wars world has been like, I don't know, it's been like a dream come true, because everyone wants to work on Star Wars. I think the first project was Clone Wars, when I had the opportunity to motion capture for Ahsoka, and I got to fight Ray Park, which is like in itself like amazing, right? Like I could retire now. But working with Ray has been really amazing. He's super positive. He's so much energy. We had the opportunity to choreograph the whole fight. We worked with Dave Filoni, who was the creator of Clone Wars, and it was just amazing. You know, I mean, I didn't know how big it was going to be. I didn't know how well received it was going to be by audiences, and I still can't believe I did that. So it was just so fun. And then working on the Mandalorian, totally different project, but cutting edge technology. I mean, the 360 LCD screen thing that they have, and it even goes above. Just to be on that set was just magical. And like, I was just in awe of everything in every department. And to see Baby Yoda on set, like that was just amazing. And then to get to wear the armor outfits that was like designed to my body, like I had my own costume. It was just, it was just really surreal. Like just a joy, you know. It was just definitely a career highlight.
So I can understand that you are making me very envy this time during this interview, because you fought Ray Park, Mr. Ray Park, the Darth Maul himself, but you also met Baby Yoda in person.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, he's controlled by like people. Obviously, he's not real. He's not a real alien. But I hate to break that to you, but they would control him like he was a real, like an actor. Like they would like, he would move his eyes and like listen to you, and like, I mean, when we weren't even rolling, he was just like interacting with people. I mean, it was the cutest thing ever.
People said that Mr. Werner Herzog was directing him on the set as well. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, he was talking to him like he was an actor. I mean, he is an actor, right? He deserves it. He deserves it, the respect as any actor on set, right?
Yeah, that's cool. That's great to hear because we are all kids when the subject is the realm of Star Wars. Because everyone appreciate, even if I could, I would live in a galaxy far, far away. But my question, that's a tough question right now. If you could be one of the characters of the Star Wars show, which one would you be and why?
Oh, in Mandalorian?
In any show, in any show.
Any show, any show. I mean, honestly, after playing Ahsoka, I think I'd be her. I mean, she's so fun, positive. Like, she's a good influence on women. I mean, she looks cool. I mean, she's a Jedi. I mean, she was trained by Padawan. Like, I mean, she was trained by what's his name? Why am I blanking out right now? Well, pretty much, what's his name? Oh my God.
Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Anakin. She was trained by Anakin. And I think I'd be her. Yeah.
That's cool. That's great to hear because it's a, as you said, it's a very good character and a very strong character, not only for girls, but to us men as well, because she can point it out so many different perspectives to the female world on being a Jedi. And that's so freaking cool. That's great. And you also went to a not so nice place in the realm of Mortal Kombat. So how it was that and which character you were? I mean, if my research are correct, you were on the Mortal Kombat X and 11. Is that correct? Am I right?
I think it was just 11 I worked on. 10 was way, like, a little before my time. Yeah. Yes, I worked on 11. And actually, I did do a Mortal Kombat 10 live action thing, but I don't think it was ever released. But yeah, I think I played Devora. I'd stunt doubled for Devora, but yeah, it never got released. But for Mortal Kombat 11, I had the opportunity to play pretty much all the female characters. Scarlet, Devora, Jackie Briggs, Jade, Katana, yeah, all of them. And that was so fun because, and it was just fun because one minute I'm playing Devora and she's like, you know, she's like very like animalistic. She's like an insect pretty much. And then the next minute I get to play Scarlet, who like cuts herself and uses that blood to like kill her opponents. So it was just so fun. And I get really like loud when I'm on the vocab volume. So I'm like making all these different creature noises for each character. So it was just really, I felt like I was a child on set pretty much. Because I'm like playing pretty much dress up, not dress up, but like make believe, you know, and just making all these crazy, like, just noises.
That's cool because it can show us your array of skills. You have a very vast array of skills, and which brings me to this. I think that's a pretty common question because I must ask, how many black belts you have in how many different martial arts styles? Because I'm from Brazil, and I used to fight capoeira when I was way young. I don't want to bring this to the table, but but that's pretty cool.
I only have one black belt. I got my first black belt in Taekwondo, and then from there I trained in Wushu, and then, you know, I think it was like a higher belt, but I never got to black belt. And then from there I trained in Silat, Filipino martial arts, Muay Thai, JKD, and I have, I think, a brown 2-striped in Filipino, and then I think I have brown belt in Silat. But the other ones I'm not belted in because And then I do also take capoeira, and I'm not actually belted in that either. So.
But that's great. I really must insist on this. I don't want to get my ass kicked. So I don't want to spoil anything. But coming back to your characters, you have a pretty strong mark on the Marvel world. And how was that? How it was for you being Elektra, being many other characters during any these lots and lots of Marvel shows? What can you tell us about that?
That was another amazing job because I had the opportunity to work with Elodie Young, who plays Elektra, and we really got to work together on a one-on-one to help create her movement, like, you know, the style, like how she would move, think about certain things we would think about to create that character. Like, okay, in this scene, she's going to be a little more vulnerable. In this scene, she's going to act more sassy and feral. So it was really fun to like develop that movement with her during that Daredevil season and Defenders. So that was amazing. And she's just a joy to work with. I mean, she's so fun. And then I actually got to play the Crane sisters on Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And that was another like really fun thing because we got to fight Jess Henwick and Missy Simone Missick.
Simone Missick, yeah.
Yeah. So that was really fun to fight them in that scene.
E é isso aí, pessoal. Vocês acompanharam esse diálogo sensacional, maravilhoso que nós tivemos com a atriz, dublê, artista marcial, Lauren Mary King. Infelizmente, devido a um problema técnico, durante a entrevista, nós não conseguimos prosseguir daqui adiante e também devido à agenda extremamente corrida e apertada dela, nós não conseguimos um momento para continuarmos esse diálogo até o momento, visto que no momento da gravação da entrevista, ela está ainda realizando trabalhos para o sequência de Avatar. Pois é, Lauren Mary King poderá ser vista em breve em Avatar 2, já que ela é performista da captura de movimentos também. De qualquer forma, foi um bate-papo maravilhoso, sensacional. Acho que trouxe para a gente aí um pouquinho do insight da vida dos dublês de Hollywood. É uma vida muito corrida, muito solicitada ali, horas a fio dentro do set de filmagem, porém com momentos aí de extrema felicidade também, e extrema surpresa e também com momentos inesquecíveis ao longo da carreira. Nós do Pop Fun TV, mais uma vez agradecemos a Lauren Mary King pelo seu tempo, pela disponibilidade de nos atender e já de antemão, assim que possível, agendaremos um novo diálogo com a atriz, diretora e artista marcial. Bom, eu, Edgar Borges, fico por aqui, mas a gente está aí, direto na cobertura de todo mundo do entretenimento, da cultura pop, nerd geek, pelas redes sociais do Pop Fun. A gente se vê em breve. Aquele abraço. Fui!